I'm just going to get straight into it. Let's get to the point. RV manufacturers, RV consumers, heck, the RV lifestyle in general was sold a big, beautiful dream, a bag of goods that could not be delivered yet. Welcome to HB RV Lifestyle, the podcast. I'm the host, John Levingston, aka the Honey Badger, here to give it to you straight and transparent about the RV business, as well as some other things. Now, I'm still really sick. My nose is plugged. My voice sounds like crap, so forgive me. I've gotten a lot of emails and direct messages. Everyone wants me to talk about the Battleborn battery situation, and I understand why. Because a lot of you, specifically a ton of you, actually have mentioned, hey, you've been talking about this off and on for the last 3.5 years. So it's kind of nice to see that people paid attention to what I'm saying about this. I mean, I've been throwing up a red flag and smoke signals out like, hey, it's not what people make it out to be. It's not. So we're going to dive right into this. So what I did to save all the BS and baloney and crap and all the middle garbage is I put ChatGPT to work. So I'm going to read what ChatGPT has to say about the Battleborn battery scandal. Okay. And it came up with a couple of viewpoints. I'm going to turn my head and we're going to talk about it. Okay. It says, one, terminal connection / heat concern controversial. A major recent discussion in RV and solar forums focuses on the design of the positive terminal connection in some Battleborn Life PO4 batteries. Sorry. Bleh. Users and independent reviewers, e.g., Will Prouse on YouTube, have reported that underload or charging the positive terminal hardware can heat significantly, potentially melting plastic inside and causing arcing or loosening connections, which could lead to failure or safety issues. Some owners claim internal heating above 250 degrees has been measured and that the connection design itself is questionable. That's by Camper Report. Battleborn's response, shared in some community discussions, was to describe part of that design as a thermal failsafe rather than a flaw, and critics strongly dispute this interpretation. Note this is a community reported issue, not a formal recall, and definitive statistics on how widespread or how dangerous it is are not publicly verified. That's a bunch of loosey goosey law stuff just to protect somebody's ass, right? Some RV owners and reviewers report frustrations with warranty support, long response times, denials, citing user setup or misuse. We're going to get to that in a minute. That's important. That's important because remember what I've been saying about lithium batteries since 2022. And logistical costs for shipping heavy batteries for service. These kinds of service complaints aren't unique to one brand, but show up in most owner forums. Okay. So before I go further, I want to start with that this isn't just with Battleborn. This is a problem across the lithium battery spectrum. This has to do with electric vehicles. This has to do with hybrids. Just about any lithium product that is used for multi-purpose functions, has a big time issue. Now, so far, a lot of the lithium ion batteries for power tools doesn't seem to have too much of a problem. But what I'm seeing a lot of, and have been seeing a lot of complaints come my way, is folks get mad because Coachman, Brinkley, Grand Design, Forest River, Keystone, they all sell an off the grid package with a lithium battery setup that they claim, and Alliance does the same thing, that claims that you can run one or two air conditioners on your battery power pretty much unlimitedly because you have X amount of solar, X kind of controller, and you have these big expensive batteries. And I've had a lot of people that report, yeah, I get to run it for 3 to 5 hours and then the batteries die. And when it's dark outside, it drains even faster. Now, there are setups out there. I've mentioned this several times over the last 2 years. There is now 4 couples that I personally follow that have either built out an old motorhome or an old school bus that have figured it out to a point where they have minimal problems and never need to run a generator. But if you go look at how much they spent, most of them spent right around $40,000 for the setup. It's not cheap. It's not affordable. And banks and lending companies do not finance a solar and lithium battery system aftermarket on a coach. So what happens is, in a lot of the problems that occur, and we'll pick on Grand Design because we've picked on Brinkley enough this year. Pick on Grand Design for a second. So Grand Design Momentum comes out with this Overland package or off the grid package, whatever the hell they want to call it. So they set it up to the specs that they were given by whatever lithium battery company that actually they're using. It may be Battleborn, it could be any other company. So they do that according to the specs. But the warranty registration and the setup for that lithium battery changes monthly. So whatever you did in July of 2024 may not be warrantyable in June of 2025. So then it's a battle between the RV manufacturer and the battery place. Who's going to cover the warranty claim? The battery place is like, hey, we changed our stuff because what we told you the setup was 11 months ago doesn't work. And it's all legalese. And I equate this to like when a company buys out a multifamily complex, like an apartment complex. They don't knock on the door and come introduce themselves. They slip a letter in your door. If that letter happens to go away and disappear before you get to see it, doesn't matter to them. They took a picture, they delivered the letter, and they put it in your door. Who cares if the rules changed? You were notified. You may have not known you've been notified, but we have proof we notified you. And the reason being is the technology has been rushed. It's been rushed because of the problems during COVID. Let's face it. How many of you really put a lithium battery pack on a travel trailer to run an air conditioner system before COVID? Because the industry, and I don't blame them. I actually don't blame the manufacturers of the RVs. I don't blame Genesis. I don't blame Brinkley. I don't blame Alliance. It has nothing to do with them. They saw an opportunity because, okay, if the technology's ready and they showed us ready and they showed us it works in demonstrations, let's do it, because there's too many people that are not buying right now because the RV lots are getting too full, too expensive, and people want to go away from the crowds. And they all jumped on this bandwagon. And now you have Thor vans, Class Bs, that have major electrical issues. You have Coachman Beyond that has had nothing but electrical issues for about 2 years. Thank God they finally got those solved. You have fifth wheel toy hauler companies like Brinkley, like Forest River XLR, that have these major problems with their battery system, like Alliance Valor, have all these major problems from the factory power pack that they were sold a bill of goods on. Do I blame Brinkley? No. It's not Brinkley's fault. It's not Brinkley's problem. Now, if they don't change what they're doing and they continue down the same path, yeah, it's their fault. And that goes with any manufacturer. But it's just one of those situations where lithium, unless you're going to want to spend $40,000 or $50,000 on a solar and battery setup with all the proper wiring and everything else to run your AC and run your residential refrigerator without ever plugging in or running a generator. Now, there's always alternatives because a lot of people don't want to lug around a generator. There's a guy that does an EcoFlow. He bought a Costco. He's happier than pig shit with it. Okay. There's folks out there that are like, okay, I got a generator on my truck. There's a lot of folks out there that are like, you know what? I don't go to places hot enough to have my air conditioner on all the time. So I'll carry a small generator to run the microwave. We forget the reason why we're going camping. We forget that the reason why we are in this lifestyle is to get away from all the shit. We forget that. We're too worried about whether we have the right comb for our hair and make sure we have the right dye to make sure that all our gray hairs in our mustaches and beards and our hair is not showing. We got to make sure that that outside refrigerator is plugged in and has stocked beer in it. We forget that we used to do it with cooler and ice and a barbecue that was coal or propane. We forget that air conditioning in a travel trailer or a motorhome was a luxury, and we didn't go to places that were 95, 100 degrees in the summer. We went away from places like that. We camped in tents. We camped in our cars. Now, I get that there are people who want to make content. Just irritating. Number 3, like most Life PO4 batteries, Battle-Born units won't accept a charge below 24 degrees without a dedicated heated model, meaning cold weather RVers need insulation or heated options to avoid shutdowns. This isn't a defect, but this is an important operational limitation. And by the way, I've experienced it where those type of lithium batteries sometimes won't even charge when you're in 50-degree Fahrenheit weather. Or they only charge at a very slow, methodical rate. One reason why electric vehicles don't sell everywhere in the world. Battle-Born batteries are typically priced as a premium RV lithium option. While many owners consider the cost worth paying for reliability and support, the higher price can be seen as a downside, especially compared to cheaper lithium alternatives. And finally, across RV and solar DIY forums, you'll also see occasional unrelated complaints like perceived inconsistent behavior with some monitors or charge controllers, suggestions that failures sometimes end up related to wiring or other system components, setup errors rather than the battery itself, users emphasizing the importance of quality installation and compatibility checks. That's why we have a lot of these wiring problems and these electrical issues with these power systems. What's important to keep in mind is Battle-Born batteries are widely used and generally well reviewed by many RV and solar users. The terminal heating design conversation is active in communities right now, but it's based on user reports and teardown videos, not industry-wide recalls or safety board findings. Whether this matters for your RV depends on your loads, how you install and monitor the batteries and the conditions you operate in. And I'm going to equate this a little bit. And this is why I say the technology is not there. I'm going to equate this a little bit to the folks that full time in the desert. So I've known people for years that full time in Pahrump, Nevada, Palm Springs, California. These places get to 110, 115 degrees at 8 o'clock at night, and they get pissed because they think their air conditioners don't work. Well, air conditioners in an RV are only really going to cool down the coach unless you do some extra things to the coach, about 16 to 18 degrees compared to what it is outside. Okay. Now, that being said, there are exceptions to what you can do. But there's a reality that nobody talks about, the conditions that you're in. It's like, how do you treat and take care of your car? It's how your car is going to run. Your car is only going to run as long as you maintain and take care of it. Same thing with a recreational vehicle. I don't care if you buy a toy hauler or a $10,000 used toy hauler or a $20,000 used piece of crap diesel pusher that's water damaged and waterlogged, like a lot of you like to tell me about, or you buy a $200,000 fifth wheel brand new. You got to take care of them. And you have to realize what the limitations are. There are limitations to solar and lithium, and anybody who tells you otherwise is full of shit or trying to tell you or trying to sell you something. I've lost deals in the last 2 years telling people what the reality of running an air conditioner on solar means on a small travel trailer, a small motorhome, a small truck camper. But they go down the street to Camping World, and that salesperson who's desperate for a deal tells them whatever the fuck they want to hear. And now those people are constantly in Camping World with issues and warranty problems, and now they're calling Liz Amazing saying they sold me something that it doesn't exist. And I've already heard this a million times. I don't know what to do. But it is what it is. What I usually say. It is what it is. Until next time, Happy New Year.